Let's move on and have a look at the newspapers now on the programme. Clément Bonnereau is back with us once again. Clément, you're beginning, aren't you, with Greta Thunberg's passionate speech at the UN on Monday. Certainly was passionate, wasn't it? It's making headlines right around the world.
Indeed, the 16-year-old climate change activist is on the front page of Sweden's Svenska. Dagbladet. The world is changing, whether you like it or not, is the headline. It's what she told world leaders gathered in New York after they failed once again to step up action against global warming. The 16-year-old also makes the front page of Britain's The Eye, the Daily praising her powerful speech to world leaders with another quote from her address: "If you fail us, we will never forgive you. We are watching." How dare you look the other way, meanwhile, is the headline on the front page of Germany's Tagesspiegel, alongside a photo of the 16-year-old, the paper praising her white-hot rage, and she does look very angry.
Certainly sounded it as well, yeah. It seems much of the anger directed at US President Donald Trump. Now, he actually made a pretty surprise appearance at the UN, despite the White House saying that he wouldn't be there. It was brief, wasn't it? But he was there.
Absolutely. You can see a picture of him at the event in this article from France's Le Monde. The paper reveals that he was indeed planning on skipping the summit, but he changed his mind at the last minute. He came to listen to Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's speech and left after 15 minutes without making any comments. It's not clear then why he even bothered to show up, but as Le Monde reminds us, Donald Trump's views on climate change remain unchanged. Curbing carbon emissions is clearly not a priority for him. He has in fact repeatedly expressed doubt about the very reality of global warming.
Let's move to the UK now. Most of today's front pages there really still focusing on the fallout from the collapse of Thomas Cook, perhaps not surprisingly.
Yes, The Independent leads on the massive repatriation operation launched by the UK on Monday, the largest of its kind in the country's peacetime history. The operation aims to fly some 150,000 tourists back home to Britain. The paper also has a picture, as you can see, of stranded passengers at Mallorca airport as they try to make their way back to the UK, and like them, hundreds of thousands of holidaymakers around the world have been stranded. The story also making the front page of the SCOTSMAN, once again with a photo of holidaymakers, this time in Tunisia. Questions grow as Thomas Cook collapses into chaos is the headline.
Lots of questions about this now, isn't there? The focus started to turn on to the conduct of the company's actual top executives here.
Absolutely. The Daily Mirror reports that Thomas Cook bosses shared £50 million in pay and perks over the last decade. Prime Minister Boris Johnson himself questioned whether directors should pay themselves large sums of money as their businesses, I quote, go down the tubes. An investigation is now underway into how the firm collapsed, and the government says it will look into whether any action by directors may have caused any detriment to the company. But many in the UK, of course, are now saying that Thomas Cook bosses should pay back any bonuses they received.
Let's come back to France for this last story. Lawmakers here set to begin a heated debate. Now, this is plans to allow single women and lesbian couples to access fertility treatments. Highly controversial here, isn't it?
The story is on the front page of Le Parisien. Currently, PMA, as it's known in France, it means medically assisted procreation, is only legal for heterosexual couples struggling with infertility. Le Parisien predicts a risky debate, a dangerous debate, reminding us that opposition to gay marriage in France was among the fiercest in Europe. That was 6 years ago in 2013. And this time around, even though IVF is already available to gay couples and single women in most countries in Western Europe, the proposed changes to the law have sparked fierce opposition from conservatives in the country. For gay rights advocates, of course, it's a matter of equality, but many people in France are unconvinced, including Catholics. Catholic paper La Croix, for example, says that the law will deprive children of their father. It also says the measure could take France a step closer to legalising surrogacy, prompting the paper to call on lawmakers for extreme caution.
Clément, thanks very much. Clément Bonnereau with the papers on France 24.